we're going over 5 reasons why the Democratic Party is doomed in the future. You always hear these things about why the Republican... I remember we heard all these doomed people saying the Republican Party was doomed in the future. First, we go into number 1. The state of Florida. Okay, and the state of Ohio. These two are two of the most important states in elections. Florida and Ohio are basically the biggest swing states in the country. Okay? They were. Okay? We got 2012 swing states map. Ohio was considered a swing state. Florida was considered a swing state. Okay? They're no longer considered swing states. Okay? This is the new reality for both states. Ohio is no longer a swing state. It is going to likely vote safe Republican in 2022 and 2024. And yeah, it'll probably be 8-point win because the Libertarians take around 2 to 3% of the vote, but it's basically a safe Republican state. There was no reason the Republicans are not going to win Ohio in 2024. Are not going to win Ohio in 2022. Mike DeWine, even though as much of the hated governor he is by many conservatives, he is likely going to win simply because he's a Republican. And the Democrats are not going to win in a state like Ohio. And the same thing with Florida. I made a whole video about why Florida is no longer a Republican. No, not Republican. It's no longer a Democrat state. It is no longer a Democrat state anymore. Okay? I like this map. Nikki Haley. Yeah, Nikki Haley. The Cuba votes Republican. And Mexico. Yo, but the problem is that they are not winning these two states anymore. These two states have become solid Republican states. Okay. Number 2. This Republican wave might be every election is consequential. And elections do have consequences. Okay. They do. Okay. Sometimes they're bad. Sometimes they're good. But Florida, as an example, in 2018, despite all odds, Ron DeSantis won the governorship of Florida. Of course, from the side, I was like, the Republicans won the governorship of Florida. Going to sleep. But now, basically, Florida is now a Republican state. Florida is now the number 1 state with bastion freedom. And now, with the American Patriots taking the Republican Party, the MAGA Republicans and the America First Patriots taking back the Republican Party. This has actually made the Republican Party more powerful than the Democrats thought. This is why you never underestimate your enemy, which is what the Democrats have. They said, oh, we won in 2020, we're going to win in 2022 and beyond because Biden won. But now, we're seeing the truth come out. Wisconsin is going to flip Republican. This is going to happen. The governorship and the Senate seat is going to be retained by Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson is likely going to retain his Senate seat as well. And as the United States of America continues to trend rightward, and you're going to see swing states like Arizona, Nevada. Most of these states are swing states. The states that I consider swing states would be Pennsylvania, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Nevada, Arizona, Maine, and New Hampshire. Most of these states are likely going to trend backwards. The Republican. Okay. Despite them, quote-unquote, trending leftward in 2020. Which means they're going to trend backwards to the right. Okay. They're going to trend backwards to the right. This is very, very bad news as well. Because these are states as well that are swing states. These are states that are on the... They don't know if the Democrat, they don't know if the Republican, they're swing states. Okay? And now, if Republicans are projected to win in Nevada with the governorship, they're expected to win in Arizona, and they're expected to win in Wisconsin. And now we're starting to see it's happening in Michigan. And of course, I don't know when North Carolina's next governorship is, but yeah. They're expected to win in the state of North Carolina. Okay, in the Senate. Okay, and you have some pretty good candidates for the Republicans. You still have some bad eggs here and there in the Republican Party, some rhinos here and there, mostly incumbents, but most of these people are America first. And this is why America is turning whiteward. Even places like Nevada. Nevada, people said, oh, but demographics going to make Nevada become blue. But Nevada has a large white working class population and also has a fast-growing conservative Hispanic population. And more conservative Hispanics are abandoning the Democratic Party because they don't represent the conservative values. They do not represent conservative values. Okay, same thing with the Rio Grande Valley, same thing with Florida, and same thing in Arizona. Many Hispanics around the country are distancing themselves more and more from AOC and more people like Mayo Flores and other conservative Hispanics in the country. This is, for example, Mayo Flores has a double approval rating among Hispanics than AOC, and likely is going to re-win her district in the Rio Grande Valley. Number two. Now let's go to number two, which we're talking about already. The Democrats are losing the Hispanic vote. The fastest leaving party for the Democratic Party is the Hispanic vote. The Hispanic vote used to be the massive Democratic voting bloc. These were people that would never vote Republican. There were still Republican Hispanics. Mostly Cubans, mostly Venezuelans, mostly South Americans, Brazilians as well. And South Americans, Venezuelans are South Americans. Outside of Venezuelans and, of course, Cubans were the only groups. But now we're starting to see groups like fourth-generation Hispanics, which mostly identify as white and no longer identify as Hispanic. Most of them identify as white. For example, the Tizanos in the Rio Grande Valley and most Cubans in Florida are mostly white as well, if you want to look at the demographics of Cubans. And, of course, mostly white Hispanics are trending. But even Mexican-born Hispanics are now trending towards the Republican Party. It is mostly because the Democratic Party does not represent most Hispanics anymore. They do not represent the conservative values. For example, very recently in Mexico, there was a massive march for life of 1 million people. I think it was in Mexico City. And you really think that these people are going to continue supporting the Democratic Party for much longer? You really think a pro-life group of people are going to continue voting for the Democratic Party as well? No, they're not. It's a simple thing that's going to start happening with the Muslim vote as well. But you're going to see places like Dearborn and parts of Minneapolis flip Republican. Because Muslims, which only account for 1% of the population, also don't see the Democratic Party as representing them anymore. And we're going to start to see a shift. And most of the reason why Muslims did not vote Republicans is because of George Bush and his reckless invasion of Iraq and his reckless invasion of Afghanistan. Number 3, the Ukraine War. The Ukraine War is something that a lot of people do still support Ukraine, but a lot of people oppose actual fighting war with Russia. You're starting to see this with people protesting Democratic Party people and calling them the establishment because they support nuclear war with Russia. This is why the Democrats would lose in a war with Russia. This is why they would lose a current war if they actually declared war on Russia. Russia has all the cards against them. Russia has the biggest ally, which is China. And China is also looking to invade the island of Taiwan. Most Americans are actually anti-war. And I'm now seeing that the Democrats are pro-war. This is why I think America, civil war or not, is going to return to an isolationist country like it was in the early 1900s until World War II. America was mostly isolationist Okay, America, except for World War One, for somehow Woodrow Wilson got Congress to declare war on Germany, but America after that was isolationist and wanted to be isolated from the rest of the world, except for maybe Canada and Mexico and of course South America. Don't worry, the Americans still of course put their boot in South America, but the thing is, most Americans do not support war. This is a not a common thing. This is a uncommon thing, and actually a pretty common thing in most states, that people oppose war. People do not like war. People want America to stop interfering with other countries. And what does the government want? They want war with Russia and China. Something that the American people do not support. This is something that the American people do not support. And they see that the Democrats want war with these countries because it's our duty to spread democracy, as the Democrats say. Even though Russia has all the cards against them. Russia knows that the people do not like the governments and want out of NATO, and also do not want war with Russia and want to end sanctions on Russia because Europe's reliance on Russian natural gas. And now with America, as well doing the same, well, you're going to see problems in places like the Northeast and stuff. And number 4, gas prices. Everybody still remembers the really high gas prices. And they're still pretty high compared to Trump. Any year under Trump. The people, for example, in Illinois, gas prices are like $6, almost like $6. This is pretty bad for the Democrats because gas prices affects everybody. It affects everybody regardless of group of people. And now the gas prices are going up again because America refuses to use its own energy. For example, Doug Mastriano said that Pennsylvania has enough energy to power America for centuries. But of course, the Joe Biden government refuses to reopen crucial energy production. States like Texas, New Mexico, North Dakota, and Pennsylvania are reliant on these areas for jobs. Okay? And this is a problem because these areas are reliant on these things for jobs. And now we're starting to see the full force of it. And now we're starting to see states like Pennsylvania and stuff, and Texas, basically start to abandon the Democratic Party, even though they were trained towards the Democrats. Now they're leaving because of energy as well. Because Texas still has a large portion of the economy based off around oil. Same thing with Pennsylvania with fracking, and same thing with New Mexico. And number 5. The rise in demand for free speech. Free speech is under attack in the United States. People are afraid every day on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and any site that they'll be censored. It is a fear that we have. Okay? And more Americans want free speech restored on social media. And this is why many people are cheering Elon Musk buying Twitter. Because Elon Musk said he will revive free speech on Twitter. And that's why many of the alt tech sites have gained popularity. And are continuing to gain popularity as more and more people look for more places that have an open exchange of ideas freely. And, yeah. That is the 5 reasons why the Democratic Party are losing popularity. And why they may become a minority party in the future of America. Goodbye.